Hi, I'm Blake,
I'm Jamie.
and we're Blamie
I guess so.
and blowing the hair out of our.
Sorry, wasn't quite ready. Okay, that's
All
enough.
right. Today we're going to do some book reviews. We finished a lot of books recently, and so we're just going to go through two of our favorites that we read in the last little bit here, and be able to share the things that we liked about them and maybe some of the drawbacks really quick.
Okay,
Do you want to start us off?
yeah. Can I start with a story?
Sure.
Wheel of Time. The wheel weaves as the will. Close? Did I get that?
Will weaves as the will wills.
Wills. Yes. Yeah. Anyway, I started this series in 2013. I read 1, 2, and 3 pretty quick, and then 4 straggled along and struggled through. And then 5 about 6 months ago, and then I just finished 6. So my thought process, because 1, 2, 3, and 4 I gave 5 stars. I loved them. They were great. Then when I read 5, like 4 years later, I was like, either my stars have changed a lot or this series is just getting worse and worse or something. I'm not sure. But anyway, so 5 I gave 4 stars because I couldn't give it 5. But then this guy, it got 5 stars. So I'm pleasantly surprised and happy to report that it's not getting worse yet. This one was good. This is book 6, Lord of Chaos, and it's long. It's 1,011 pages. So I'm really proud of myself, and it took a while. It also took a lot of incentive and a trip to Hawaii to finish it. It's a different experience reading it on a beach. The storyline moved a lot quicker. A lot more happened. The plot was moved further than the 5th one. The 5th one, I feel like you're just stagnant, and it's just... I got bored in book 5, I think. Book 6, though, kept me entertained, and like the last half I really zoomed through. So I don't know, the characters are good. I'm still invested, and I'm gonna keep going, and I'm happy with 6. I don't know, do I tell them what happened? Because I don't think I need to.
Yeah, stay away from spoilers. Book 6 is my second favorite book of that series.
Cool. I can see why. Okay, I can see. I don't know.
The ending is tremendous.
Okay.
I will say that.
He's got such a high bar for the ending that I can't not finish the whole series to get to that ending.
The 14th book of it is fantastic.
14.
It's one of the few books that nearly made me cry at some point.
It did make you cry.
Okay, fine. I'll admit it made me cry. Good job, Brandon Sanderson. It was. But 14 books and probably 10 years of me following it is a long payoff there.
Aww.
So, and I'm excited for you. Halfway there, kind of.
But I think it's gonna get rough soon, right?
The 10 and 11 tend to be the slowest.
Okay.
And honestly, I don't know if it's really that bad or if it felt really bad because they're like 5. They don't move the plot a ton.
Yeah. I can see
and
that.
you have lots of people to catch up with, right? Because it keeps adding plot threads and you're just keeping track of it.
And I swear there's a new name every other page on this whole series. It's bad.
Right, and so it is. There's 3,500 named individuals in it to keep track of. But the one big thing is there was such a gap between the books that when you would read the book and then wait 6 years for the next one and it would come out and you'd read it and it didn't progress things, people got frustrated.
I'm sure he's...
It was supposed to be a 12-book series and was always going to be 12 books, always going to be 12 books, always going to be 12 books. And then ended up being 14, probably because Robert Jordan died and Brandon Sanderson took over. But so, when you read the 11th book and you're like, there's no way they finish it in 12.
That'd be so stressful.
Right. So that's part of it. I think you'll continue to enjoy it. They're interesting.
I'm excited. I'll let you guys know how that keeps going. I don't plan on reading another one for like 6 months. I'll take another break.
Fair enough. Great. So the book I'm reviewing is Gideon the Ninth. So I think this is the best explanation of this series. Lesbian necromancers explore a haunted Gothic palace in space.
I'm never going to get over that line.
It is a really fascinating summary of this book. And I did not expect to like this book. This was recommended by multiple people. I just didn't expect to like it, and I really liked this book. I think the character of Gideon is super, super interesting. I think the setup there is really interesting. It's an interesting mix of telling you about the situation but keeping you in the dark of things, it's kind of suspenseful and has some horror elements to it, but not a ton.
Horror or horror?
Horror. Horror, like a horror, like a prostitute whore? Or
Yeah.
horror is horror. I don't know, scary. What are you talking about? Anyways, might actually have the prostitute elements to it too. But anyways, so really interesting and kind of fun things. It doesn't exactly break the fourth wall, but it gets close on occasion.
I kind of like those.
And so Gideon talks to herself a lot, and you get those type of things, and Gideon is just hilarious and fun. And so I would highly recommend. It is definitely not what I would classify as epic fantasy or high fantasy.
Not YA fantasy. No.
It fits closer to YA than I would imagine. It definitely has a little more adult themes sometimes, and is a little bit longer and chunkier. Gets maybe out of YA there, but for fans of something like Hunger Games, this is I think a much more adult book that would really satisfy in that regard. It had some elements of there that really reminded me of it, but in a better way, a better payoff, and just fun. It was interesting. There is a sequel to it that I'm going to read. It's down my list a little bit, but I am curious to learn a little bit more about this world. But yeah, Gideon, recommend it.
The fact that because you know how long my TBR list is, and you know how like particular I am about like it's gonna take me a while to get to certain books.
Yep.
The fact that you told me to add it to that list and like put it, like prioritize it to read it at some point, means it's like that's a really high recommendation from you.
Definitely. Well, and it also fits because I think it'll be a book that you like.
Yeah.
Like there's other books that are better than this that I don't think you'll like.
Yeah.
But this is one that I think you will really enjoy.
And I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I think most people enjoy it. If you're looking for something fairly easy to read, that's fun, it just doesn't take itself too seriously, I definitely recommend this book.
Not easy to read, kind of fun, and it does take itself very seriously.
Definitely. These are very different ends of a spectrum in fantasy. Ooh, see, ends of a spectrum in fantasy here. Very different ends. If you're just getting into fantasy, Gideon, definitely.
Do not even attempt.
Yep. If you're
it's so intimidating.
I read this in one day in high school, so I don't know what we're talking about here.
Yeah,
not that intimidating.
Took me 2 weeks.
Anyways, fantastic books, both of them. Highly recommend. I guess this is our A+ book review here.
Yeah.
Because we loved both of them.
Totally.
Good job, Robert Jordan and Tasman Mir.
Oh, I thought you were congratulating us for picking good books.
Oh, good job you for picking such great books. How did you know to read that book?
I know. Aren't you glad I'm reading it though?
I am
even
very
though
glad.
It's taken me 10 years.
I'm so glad. I just have all these other ones I'd love for you to read.
I'm getting there.
I don't believe it.
This is proof I'm getting there. I'm working through that list.
I guess so. Well, we'll see you in 30 years when Jamie reviews the rest of the books that I'd like you to see. Like and subscribe.
Bye, guys.